A pleasant good evening from outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. Welcome to the July 1, 2025 edition of the Focal News Summary on 89.5. These are the top stories making the headlines. President Boyka dedicates Metro Family Clinic in Duporo community. President Boyka nominates Associate Justice Gbese as new Chief Justice of Liberia. Linsu condemns selective mobilization, demands inclusive national healing. Nimba County lawmakers demand accountability from ArcelorMittal community compliance. While President Joseph Nimabweka leads nation in signing Turbo condolence book. We go for a break and be back with the news in continuation. Welcome back. President Joseph Newman Boyka has officially commissioned the Metro Family Healthcare Clinic in Duburo Community, Pennsylvania, marking a significant step towards strengthening local healthcare access. The modern health facility is expected to serve thousands of residents in the Dupo Road and surrounding areas, addressing long-standing gaps in primary and community-level medical services. President Boyka emphasized government's commitment to providing quality, affordable health care as a basic right for every Liberian regardless of location or economic status. The initiative forms part of broader national efforts to enhance the initiative forms part of broader national efforts to expand healthcare infrastructure, improvement service delivery, and reduce preventable illness across the country. Community members expressed gratitude for the move, adding that the clinic will be a vital addition that will ease overcrowding at at existing health facilities and improve health outcomes for families in the area. President Boyka has nominated Associate Justice Yami Gbese as Chief Justice pending Senate confirmation. The nomination follows the retirement requirement for the justices reaching 70. The nomination follows the retirement requirement for justice reaching 70, ensuring continuity and integrity within the nation's highest court as mandated by Liberia's 1986 constitution. President Boyka praised Justice Gbese's distinguished service, describing him as a jurist with profound legal expertise, integrity, and unwavering commitment to upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. The president urged the Liberian Senate to expeditiously review and confirm Gbese, emphasizing the importance of timely appointments to maintain stability within Liberia's judicial system. If confirmed, Justice Gbese's leadership will further strengthen judicial independence, calls reflecting President Boyka's call for officials to serve with diligence, integrity, professionalism, and unwavering loyalty to Liberia. President Boyka led Liberians in signing the Book of Condolence honoring slain President William Richard Turbo, killed during the April 1980 bloody military coup. The solemn ceremony was held Monday, June 30th, 2025 at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Asma Street, Monrovia, drawing leaders and the Tupper family together. This event is part of President Boyka's reconciliation efforts, fulfilling his January 27 promise to honor former presidents. Tupper endured with proper funeral rites. Government officials, legislators, Tupper relatives, and ordinary citizens joined to pay tribute, reflecting on Tupper's legacy and national cause for forgiveness and healing. A pictorial representation captured the emotional moment, uniting Liberians in remembrance and symbolizing renewed national commitment to unity, peace, and reconciliation after decades of division. Representative Ian Flomo and Neke Gay of Nema County held a strategic meeting with residents to address long-standing concerns about ArcelorMittal Liberia's mining operation promises. Community members complain about unfulfilled development funds and vocational training commitments, urging lawmakers to resist the agreement and guarantee financial benefits bring tangible improvement and better local living conditions. Representative Flomo criticized ArcelorMittal's billion-dollar operations, noting locals remain impoverished, lacking jobs, infrastructures, and opportunities similar to hardship during the old Lanco mining era before the war. Representative Gay stressed unity among lawmakers and communities when engaging ArcelorMittal, referencing infrastructure from a 2023 mountain ownership dispute that previously prompted national government efforts. Both lawmakers pleaded to advocate during negotiations, ensuring fair, transparent use of funds and promised strong legislative follow-up to secure community development and enforce company commitments. The Liberian National Students Union has strongly criticized what they call President Boyka's selective memorial initiative, describing it as a scam that betrays Liberia's progressive legacy and justice. Linsu argued rebellious glorify former leaders tied to oppression while ignoring countless massacres, civilians, and student activists who died fighting oligarchy, military dictatorship, and brutal civil conflict. The student group condemns silent progressive officials now in government, accusing them of betraying past radical ideals and failing to uphold genuine justice and national healing. Linsu demanded a people's memorial commission honoring all victims, operationalizing of operationalization of the War and Economic Crimes Code, and a balanced national narrative reflecting all hierarchies' sacrifices. They vow continual resistance against historical falsification and call on President Boyka to first stand where victims feel it truly committed to reconciliation and national unity. We take a break and be back with the continuation of the new summer. Welcome back to the continuation of the Focal News Summer. An OKFM investigation has uncovered that Liberia's Minister of Labor, Councillor Cooper Kra, secretly issued unauthorized temporary work permits to 42 Chinese nationals. According to OKFM, the Chinese are said to be working for a mining subcontractor despite the permits not being captured in the official 2024 government registry, raising serious questions about transparency and legality. In an in an official report this year, the Ministry of Labor announced it has issued 10,117 work permits in 2024. However, leaked documents obtained by this OKFM revealed that on May 12th, the minister will personally approve a waiver for a 6 months temporary work permit for employees of Bangli Pte Limited, a green mining company affiliated with China Union operating in Burma's Fuaman district. The University of Liberia has announced plans to offer master's and doctoral programs in gender and security studies. In a release issued on Monday, the university disclosed that the programs aim to provide advanced academic and professional opportunities for individuals working or aspiring to work in gender and security related fields. According to the university, the programs will be officially launched on Thursday, July 3, and will be housed under the College of Gender Studies and Interdisciplinary Research. The release added that the program will foster research and dialogue around gender equality, human rights, and national and global security challenges. Meanwhile, as part of the launch activities, the university has scheduled an inaugural lecture which will serve as a platform to introduce the academic framework and highlight the importance of gender sensitive approaches in security studies and among other things. Liberia businessman and philanthropist Koli Gege has emphasized the critical importance of investing in children's education as a foundational step towards national development. Speaking over the weekend as guest speaker at the Nimlin Brothers Preparatory School on Bourgeois Island, Gege called on parents and graduates to prioritize education over material things. According to him, children representing the future of every society and must be equipped to quality education to meaningful contribution to national growth and transformation. He also cautioned against the growing trend of purchasing seasonal materials items for children as gifts, which he urged often provide temporary satisfaction but do little to prepare young people for the realities of life. The Liberian entrepreneur urged Liberian parents to rethink their spending priorities and redirect their resources toward their children's academic future, describing education as the most valuable inheritance. Former President George Manuel Weah is facing backlash days after missing the joint burial and burial of former President Samuel Kanyando in West in Zweju Grand Judea County. Former President George Weah had earlier informed the Doe's family of his alleged plan imminent to international travel, but was later seen celebrating with graduates at the City of Hope Academy. Photos photos shared online showed the former Liberian leader and his wife sitting comfortably to each other posing with graduates of the school, sparking intense criticism from citizens questioning his respect for humanity. Earlier, former President Weah visited the Dole family to express condolences, assuring them he would travel. However, no signs indicated any international departure on the funeral date. President Boyka, top officials, diplomats, religious leaders, and many citizens attended the funeral service, honoring those legacy while former President Weah's absence dominated national discussion and social media. At least 23 staff members of the Ministry of Agriculture has departed the country for a 1 month technical training program in China. The move, which was organized by the China National Research Institute of Food and Environmental Industries, is expected to sharpen the skills of county agriculture coordinators and district agriculture officers, exposing them to cutting edge techniques. They will be trained in agriculture product processing and preservation technology, rice processing and preservation, livestock and poultry product preservation, among others. Minister of Agriculture Deputy Minister for Extension Services Mose Banyan described the training as timely and vital, noting that it will help address persistent post-harvest losses and enhance value chains for farmers across the country. This initiative is part of Liberia-China cooperation in agriculture and supports the Liberians Feed Yourselves agenda by investing in knowledge, innovation and practical solutions to drive food security and rural development. The Assets Recovery and Property the Assets Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force has confirmed the discovery of more than 40 new suspected corruption cases across Liberia. The institution's latest latest disclosure follow days after the arrest of former Minister D. Moses Akemanya and several other former officials of the Weah administration accused of alleged misappropriating over 25,000 bags of rice intended for vulnerable Liberians. Speaking on state radio Monday, the chairman of the task force, Councillor Edwin Clamountain, disclosed that the cases range from theft of government properties to the diversion of public funds for personal gain. He stated that the task force has gathered substantial evidence linking the suspects to what he described as a systematic looting of national resources. Councillor Martin further revealed that 26 active cases of alleged public fund theft are currently under investigation. He emphasized that the arrests are imminent and those found culpable will face the full weight of the law. The task force chairman reiterated that the anti-government drive is non-disciplinatory, contrary to public perception. He affirmed his team's commitment to ensuring that all individuals involved in depriving the nation of its resources and property are Lamont Stevens is part of broader efforts by the Liberian government in an effort to foster stronger diplomatic relations with the U.S. government. At the meeting, U.S. officials expressed growing concern over multiple visa-related challenges originating from Liberia, naming visa overstay of non-immigrant visitors, the submission of fraudulent documentation, among others. According to Mr. Wooden, approximately 20% of Liberian granted non-immigrants visas do not return at the end of their unauthorized stay in the US. Meanwhile, the UN envoy acknowledged steps taken by the government of Liberia, highlighting the formation of the high-level presidential task force. Floods are posing Floods are posing serious threats to the living conditions of schools of residents of Topo Village community in the Ghana's. Some parts of Montserrat's suburbs have been experiencing floods and heavy torrential rainfall. The residents have since been displaced seeking shelters to neighboring communities in the last few days. According to our reporter, the situation is not only affecting residents but posing further damage to the already deplorable roads. Both motorists and motorcyclists say movement has become nearly impossible. Some residents are blaming what they describe as poor leadership for the situation, claiming that local authorities have done little to address their plans. Meanwhile, Topo Village Community Chairperson Legori Morris has rejected claims made by residents. Chairman Morris claimed his leadership is actively working behind the scenes to face the problem. The community leader noted that several requests have been made to District 13 Representative Edo Papi Flomo, but they are yet to receive a response. The Ministries of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Education, and Health alongside UNICEF have convened a high-level meeting on critical national issues in the port city of Bikana. The high-level discussion aims to strengthening interagency collaboration for a more holistic and coordinated response pressing national issues affecting children. According to a release, the campaign is under the theme Back to My Classroom Enrollment Drive the Birth Restriction. Speaking during the discussion, Gender Minister Gbemi Colley disclosed plans to enroll most vulnerable children, including those living in street situations and on the fringe of society. The Buchanan meeting reaffirmed all parties' commitments to accelerating joint efforts and ensuring the successful implementation of the campaign. Stakeholders expressed strong willingness to deepen collaboration and translate their shared vision into concrete, measurable impact of Liberia's children. Liberia has ranked ninth out of 43 countries in the 2024 Electricity Regulatory Index with an overall score of 0.803. This marks an increase from 0.628 in 2022, according to the report released over the weekend by the African Development Bank. The country recorded the second highest improvement, nearly 28%, after Niger's 67.2%. It also surpassed Senegal's 12.2% and Kenya 9.5%, both top regulatory performers 2022 and 2024. This places Liberia among the five nations showing the most significant gains in the index. The report, however, attributes this progress to several key reforms, including introducing a service quality code and national plans outlining priorities in renewable energy and energy efficiency. However, the country's improved regulatory framework sharply contrasts with ongoing structural issues in electricity supply, particularly frequent service disruption. With that, with that being said, we conclude. With that being said, we conclude the evening news presentation. But with that being said, we conclude this evening presentation of the Foca News Summary. And many thanks to Penal Robert, who sat at control and on behalf of the news team. My name is Mohamed Vani Kane. I presented the Foca News Summary.